we're going to do a reproduction grant Tuff Wheel install. So what I got the wheel from Summit. We're going to check that out. And I got a Tuff Wheel Adapter. I was on for A Bodies Only, the Mopar forum. There's a guy on there making Tuff Wheel adapters out of Delrin. It is a industrial grade heavy duty plastic. From one car guy to another, I'm going to help him out. I told him I mentioned his product in my video, but I am not affiliated in any way. I never met the guy. I just ordered a part from him. But we're going to check out how that works. So yeah, the Tuff Wheel adapter is made out of a heavy duty plastic. We're going to take a look at that. And I'm also going to post a link to his thread in the forums for anybody that needs a Tuff Wheel adapter. You can contact him. Okay, so what we're looking at here, this is the Summit Tuff Wheel and the horn button. So that's all that comes with the wheel for $119 from Summit. Over here we have the Delrin Tuff Wheel adapter. It's a fairly heavy piece. Helicoils in the holes. I think it's very well done. So that's the Tuff Wheel adapter. So on the wheel. If you have big knuckles, they're gonna like bang into the dash pad. So you need the Tuff Wheel adapter, and that brings the wheel out off of the column more. So because the Tuff Wheel itself is kind of flat. I mean, it isn't totally flat, but it's not as, the spokes aren't on as heavy angles as stock wheel. You also need this Grant adapter kit. I will find out the part number of this and insert it in text in the video. But yeah, that's the adapter kit, all the bolts, washers. And again, like I said, the Tuff Wheel adapter brings it up off the column. If you remember in the old Cudas, these had like a bellows look to them. But yeah, the Cudas had an adapter spacer on. I think anything with a Tuff Wheel is going to have a spacer. So a thing about the Tuff Wheel, my car's a 70 Dart. They did not offer the Tuff Wheel on A Bodies until the 71 Demon. So even though it's not going to be original to my car, it will look like a Mopar wheel. It will look like it belongs. It's going to look like a 71 Demon. It's what the dashes in the wheel area is going to look like. But anyway, yeah. Look for the link. I'm going to put the guy's link in the description, a way to contact him if you need a Delrin Tuff Wheel adapter. Really looking forward to seeing how that works. Okay, what we're looking at here, we're looking at our 70 Dart steering wheel. As you can see, I'm half in the car, but getting in and out of this car, like the wheel, is literally, there's like 1.5 inch clearance between my hand and my leg. And I'm not tall, I'm like 5'8". So the Tuff Wheel should be out further, smaller diameter. The first thing, the horn button got to come off. That just twists off. We're going to save this wheel, put it away, keep it nice. Because it's in good shape for a 50-year-old original Chrysler wheel. I believe in the 70 Dart, they only offered 2 wheels. It was this one and another one with like a wide pad. That said Dodge on the corner. That might have been the deluxe wheel. This is your base standard wheel. My uncle had a 70 Duster, had the same wheel in it back in the day. But looking in there, we have the horn switch, 3 screws, 3 Phillips screws. We're going to get them out. And then we'll get the wheel puller on there. Pull the wheel. And then we will see how this Tuff Wheel looks in here when it's all said and done. All right. Out. And there is a connector there we're going to pull off. Okay, this is our snap-on bolt grip puller set. So don't think that you need all this. This is a a master set, and it's designed to pull harmonic balancers also. But if you look in here, there's all kinds of different bolts, standard and metric thread for all kinds of different applications. And like I said, this puller can also pull harmonic balancers. Okay, so our final setup was, I had run this down and I tapped on the center of it. And it's loose, it's off. So we're gonna back this off and look at what we got. I'm pretty sure we didn't mess anything up, except maybe one of the bolts from the puller got tweaked a little bit. I did end up chasing the one hole with a tap. But we survived, the wheel survived. The wheel will live to be used again on another car, or maybe put back on this one. Let's see how it goes. The problem with all this is boogered up threads. You booger up the threads on any of this, you're not going to go back together very well. All right, and that's that. We will get the old wheel out of the car. We will clean this up a little bit in here. Our turn signal cam seems to be in there working well. That's the contact for the horn, I think. I might get an air gun and just blow this out, but it looks pretty clean. That's the four-way flasher switch. Okay, so we're following our instructions here. There is a little nub on here. That's the turn signal canceling cam on the old wheel is at 3 o'clock. So I'm going to set that on here. So what we're going to do is we're going to test fit all this stuff. Try and make sure that the wheel's actually going to sit on here square before we cinch it all down. Yeah, so it's going to be a test fit process. I'm going to get a bolt and bolt this on, and I'm going to hold the wheel up because I want the wheel to sit centered. The wheels are pointed straight. So that's the idea behind that. So right now it's just, if I have to move it a spline or so off to get it to sit straight, that's fine. I supplied bolts with the kit, so I'm gonna, before you cinch this down and press fit it onto the splines, I'm gonna make sure that it's where I want it. So far so good. Fitting my fingers in there to turn this bolt is fun. I should probably get a ratchet. Yeah, so far so good. We're getting there. Stuff like this is always fun. Keeps the brain invigorated, so to speak. Or you could look at it as it burns brain cells, however you see it. Alright, so that's loosely in place. Let's bring the wheel over and see. Here's our wheel, and it will go like that. That's not too bad. Because right now I have the car on jack stands. Who knows when I settle this where the steering's going to center out at. But I think I'm going to move the whole thing. Maybe over one spline. that. And that seems better. See that? That seems better. I'm going to go with that. Hope for the best. Okay, so right now we are cinching down our plate. Alright, so I ran the bolt down off camera. What I did was I ended up turning the steering all the way to lock and then cranking it with my long 3/8 breaker bar right here. So I'm going to get that hub pressed on the splines nice. And now we will go back after this. And I did not set myself up with the square or the hex drives Allen wrench yet, but we'll get that. I might have to step away for a second to grab something that works. I do believe this was our setup. We have it splined where the wheels should be fairly straight when the car's you know, settled in the suspension. Right now I have it on jack stands, but I guess what I'm trying to say is later on I might have to tweak it if it's off. Yeah, so that's that. Let's get the hex bit to run that down. I just have some Allen wrenches here. I grabbed a handful. Hope I get lucky. I think that was it. Okay. First try. It usually doesn't happen that way. Okay. So we'll run this tight. And like I said, I might Loctite these. We'll see. But they feel like they're going into the heel coils nice. Maybe no reason to. Feels like they're biting in. The plastic piece has nice threaded inserts for these screws. So yeah, it's nice. Nice upgrade to the finishing up of our power steering issue we fixed recently. I do have sockets, but they're metric. I wonder if they would fit. I could just get a good crank on these. But this might be all I need. Just the, you know, the Allen wrench. Get that in, get a nice snug feel there. So far it feels nice. It feels solid. It's a nice solid mounted steering wheel. Nothing flimsy going on here. I don't know much about the Delrin, but it is an industrial grade plastic. Designed to be strong and designed to last. And that's it. Now we got to figure out the horn button. But see, now I got twice the amount of space between the wheel and my legs. I can get in and out of the car easier. Before I was always bumping my legs getting in and out of the car. But yeah, it has a nice competition vibe to it. It's going to be fun to drive like this. Now we'll figure out the horn button.